Hi, I'm Bob Fenwick. Welcome to the Dredge Report. A few weeks ago, I did a basic dredging demonstration that showed that dredging is quite different than rocket science. It is a basic application of mechanical equipment. I'm about to show you an additional facet of dredging the Rivanna Reservoir that for some will be hard to believe. There is gold in that reservoir behind me. It's not the shiny kind, and it's not black gold petroleum. It's green gold. And it looks like this. This is what the Rivanna Reservoir is choked with. It's composting biomass, muck to most of us, and there are millions of cubic feet in this reservoir of that muck. It has made most of the reservoir unnavigable to small boats. It is decreasing the capacity of the reservoir to hold water, and it's adversely affecting the quality of the water. Fortunately, it's also worth a fortune. Removed and dried out, or dewatered as the experts would put it, the muck looks like this. This came out of the reservoir 3 days ago. Dewatered material or dried out muck, as any farmer in our area can tell you, is the best materials to till into farmland or for homeowners to till into their gardens. It's the best you can find, but the point of my demonstration today is it's the best you can buy. One bag of this dewatered reservoir muck will retail for over $8 a cubic foot. I was at Lowe's 3 days ago, this past Monday, and I bought a bag of topsoil, which is lesser quality than the decomposing biomass in this reservoir. 1 cubic foot from Lowe's costs $8.82 retail. Now, since this material is available at a cubic foot or a volume price, we can easily figure out approximately what the muck in this reservoir is worth. Volume is length times width times the depth of what you want to measure. Behind me is more than a mile of the southern shore of the Rivanna Reservoir. So we'll figure that's the length. From the shore to the end of this dock is 37 feet. And a little further to where you see that little sandbar starting and the hydrilla growing is another 37 feet. So the width we will figure is 74 feet, 37 plus 37. Right off the edge of this dock here, the muck is 38 inches thick. We measured it with a tape measure. So just to make the math easier, we're going to call it 36 inches, 3 feet. That's the depth. So here's the computation. 1 mile, 5,280 feet, times 74 feet for the width, times 3 feet for the depth, gives you a volume of 1,172,160 square feet, cubic feet. This 1 cubic foot of topsoil from Lowe's retails for $8.82. And we'll call it $8, that's before tax. We'll call it $8 to make the math a little easier. So you have 1,172,160 cubic feet times $8 is a retail value of the muck that would come out of this portion of the shore of $9,377,280. Now remember, the reservoir is is somewhere in the vicinity of 5 miles long. It has 2 shores. I just did part of one shore, and I didn't count the inlets and creeks that are just as choked with this muck as the reservoir is. There is an industry waiting to happen out here. There are jobs waiting to happen out here. Green jobs, which politicians love to talk about, but haven't a clue how to create. I would estimate with the dredging and with the reclamation project going on out here, there are at least 30 jobs that can be created on this reservoir. More importantly, it can be a source of revenue for the city for many years. Equally as important, it will be a start on the maintenance that has been neglected for over 30 years. Once we peel off the top layer of muck, there is still the commercially valuable layer of sand and gravel, and that's what most of the talk has been about when they talk about dredging the reservoir. I'm trying to run down a company, I believe in Blacksburg, that said they would dredge the reservoir for free if they could keep the sand and gravel. There is much more money in the muck as a topsoil or a soil additive, however they would want to market it and package it, than there is for sand and gravel. So my sentiment is dredge here, dredge now. Now, since our local governments are so enamored of paying huge sums for premature studies, this wouldn't be complete without an invoice with plenty of zeros for an expert's study. So here it is. Here's the invoice for one expert's study. And I will leave it up to them to figure out how to split this. So my proposal is do not complete the study that is going on now. Save the money. We are in a major recession. I'm concerned about the city, but the entire community is deep in this national recession. We don't have money to spend prematurely. And remember that for every cubic foot of soil additive or muck that you take out of this reservoir, you increase the capacity of the reservoir by that much. Now, I hold a public forum every Saturday on the east end of the downtown mall by the Freedom of Speech Monument. And this Saturday, tomorrow at 12 noon, I will be down there with the same teaching aids that I have right here, and I will be glad to answer any questions anybody has about this proposal to make money on this dredging of the reservoir. We can't afford to let this issue be driven by special interests. The only interest that should be driving this is the citizens of our community.